Hi, I'm Elisa Parker. We're broadcasting live here from the Wild and Scenic Film Fest Media Lounge. We are hanging out at the Nevada City Winery, so many thanks to them for hosting hosting the lounge here. Also, a big shout out to Circle South Yuba River Citizens League, who is the producer of the Wild and Scenic Film Fest and does extraordinary work. Actually, Circle has more volunteers. We have more nonprofits per capita here in Nevada City, and Circle is definitely one of the most celebrated as far as having more volunteers than any of those nonprofits. So we have like 600 nonprofits. Is that volunteers? 700 volunteers. 700 volunteers, our crew, and a shout out to our crew as well, who's been with us all the step of the way over the weekend. Okay, so I got to speak a little bit with James and Leo last night. The film is called The Last Fisherman. And so welcome. Have you guys had a good time so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
It's my pleasure. Really cool to be here. I was asking them if they were suffering any jet lag, because where did you guys fly in from?
I'm coming from Austria.
And I was from the UK, from Manchester in the UK.
How did you guys hear about Wild and Scenic? How did you get dialed into this festival?
There was one guy from the village in Cornwall who has been here a couple of years before and told us this is one of the most encouraging festivals in the world. This is how we started to get in contact with people here.
That's amazing, and that was from a guy in Cornwall.
Yes,
yeah, he lives
which is where Leo in the village,
yeah.
where Leo lives in the village in Cornwall. Which I was talking about just the synergy between that, because we had a lot of Cornish come here to our community as miners during the gold rush. Hence, we have pasties, or the food that we have. So that's amazing, though, because you have like 800 to 3,000 people that live in your town, and then someone there referenced the festival.
Yeah, and then it was also, we were told about it in the last time we were in California promoting the film was at the Ocean Film Festival there, and obviously it has the same kind of environmental links and the same ethos, and they said, oh, maybe it would be a good place for your film too, and here we are.
So tell us about the film The Last Fisherman and Malcolm.
Wow, so the story is about this old fisherman. I mean, Malcolm's 75 years old. He's never left the village that he was born in, the villages of Kingsand and Cawsand. And he still works like his ancestors hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And he's kind of the last of his kind in the Rame Peninsula of Cornwall. And then the story links to Leo because, in a way, Leo became Malcolm's apprentice. Malcolm couldn't find a way to continue his style of fishing because the commercial nature and the way that the world and the village was changing around him, there was no way he could make a living from it. But that's all he knows, and Leo was able to help him for free.
So Leo, you leave your job in project management. And how did you meet Malcolm? I'm imagining it's not hard because it's a small town, but how did you end up meeting, and how did he even convince you to take on this new livelihood?
It was kind of a long process. The first time I saw Malcolm was a friend of us was over from Austria to visit us and told me, oh, look, Leo, there is a fisherman down the beach. And as I was always interested in fishing, I've been running down the beach and saw Malcolm and his wife putting some fish into boxes, and I asked him to help. I moved up some boxes with him to the car, and this is where everything started. A couple of days later, there've been a bag of fish on my door, and then the friendship started. And it's not like maybe you consider to start a friendship here. You just go, hello, my name is, and let's walk together. No, it goes very slow. The first couple of times I was allowed to chat to him, then to help him to clean the boat, and then only one day after the other, by taking more confidence in talking to him, I became his friend. And one day, a couple of weeks or months after, I've been allowed even to enter or boarding his nice little fishing boat. And from there on, we became friends and we started to fish together.
What is it like when you're out there on the water together with Malcolm? I mean, starting from the morning, right? You get up like super early in the morning.
Yeah, it depends on the time of the year and then on the tide, but sometimes you get up at 2:30 when everyone else is still sleeping.
Is that really a normal? Is that even called getting up at that point when it's 2:30 in the morning?
No, for Malcolm maybe it is. For me, it's just staying awake, because by the time you sleep, you have to go up again. But it's all connected to the tide and to the life of the fish and the sea there. So you have to live the same rhythm. And I think it's kind of very interesting, and it was very inspiring for me. And it was very hard. I'm from the mountains, from Austria. no idea about ocean, no idea about water and tide and everything. And I think this was the thing which attracted me most, you know, to see how a different lifestyle can be.
What is it that you love most, Leo, around being a fisherman, and what is it you want us to know about that and the traditional lifestyle that goes along with that?
I think there are many layers, many things. One thing is to be out at the sea at a time when everyone else is sleeping. It's just magic, you know. You see the sun coming up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You see creatures and animals you never thought you will see in your life, like orcas or whales or whatever, and it's just amazing. And then this leads you to the thought, okay, how is the life of these species on the sea? And you see floating plastic and all this stuff and say, wow, how much I do contribute to this nonsense, to this way of living. And I think this morning rides teaches you a lot, trying to be more sustainable and trying to participate in a more serious conversation. No, how you say it?
Conversation.
Yeah.
Because you were saying as well regarding not just your living from the sea, but you had a garden for the first time and grew your own vegetables, which I just thought was
You
really
get
cool.
really connected in with the land. That's been a big theme. That's been a big theme, but really deeply connected. And have you taken? I know you have two younger children. Have you taken them out on the boat to experience it?
Yeah, of course. It is still scary for me to have little boys on the boat, but with Malcolm, it's no problem at all.
Right,
and he's very careful. You have to put your
life jacket.
Everything on, and then you can go out. Yeah.
So James, in making this film, The Fisherman, you moved to this village for like 4 years. That's like a really big shift in itself.
It has a weird kind of trap there. I first went down for about 5 days, and then I stayed for a few months to shoot the initial introduction to the film. And then we realized as the project grew, it was just easier for me to move down there. But I think I was just looking for an excuse really to live in this beautiful place.
Right. And are you a filmmaker by trade too? You've made other films?
I am, yeah. This was my second feature documentary. The first one was about a youth project in Denmark, in a remote island, and they took 20 young people and put them onto this island, and they were creating their own society. So moving on to this one was very different, but it still had the connection of young people and youth, which was really cool.
Right, that's amazing. And Leo, we were talking a little bit about your glasses. A little bit about, Leo has these yellow tinted glasses that he's wearing. I was kind of joking about them last night because I have some yellow ones as well. But do you mind sharing your story? And now I'm dying to know, because right before we went on the air,
that's several stories, but I
bet. And they mentioned in the film, by the way, that Leo and his trademark glasses.
I tell you the innocent one is when I was younger, I was playing soccer, right? And I couldn't wear lenses, so it was necessary always to use glasses. And these ones you can put off the thing and put on some straps, and these are used to play football. And then I became a trainer and a facilitator of conferences, and I stopped playing football. Now the football is here, but the glasses remained, right? So this is how it started to become my kind of a trademark, because everyone says, "Oh, Leo with the glasses." Yeah.
And you're influencing rock stars, and that's all we're going to say about that. I did see that. So I did see in your background you were doing work around cultural. What was it like? Cultural engagement, or the training that you used to do?
Yeah. It's all to do with social work and with involvement of young people into society.
Right. And you mentioned last night that you started a youth center.
Yes, I did.
So you guys are doing all kinds of amazing things. So do you no longer live in the village anymore, James?
I don't know.
You moved away. You had to get out.
The dream had to end, but in a weird way, you get kind of caught in a little bubble. So it's nice to have gone away and be moving into other things, but then it's good to come back.
And it's probably nice to hang out with Leo.
Yeah.
And so you guys are going to have some good break time.
We'd spend a lot of time together with the film, and now we're all doing different things, and it's nice to meet up every now and then.
Right.
Yeah, I think one important issue to say is that this film never was supposed to be something commercial or public, because the film was made initially for my children and for Malcolm's family, because I, as an Austrian mountain man, have had so much great experience or moments with him that I thought I have to capture this for my children, and asked James to do it. And because I've known James before, that he's doing it in a careful, respectful way. And only after a while we figured out that this film is an issue for the whole public.
Right,
Yeah.
because it's really about it's a sense of unplugging, it's
Yeah.
the sense of tradition,
Yeah.
it's giving respect and honor to our ancestors and the traditions that have come
Yeah.
before us,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
continuing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And the simplicity of life.
Yeah,
And knowing where food comes
yeah,
from.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one thing with Malcolm. He really appreciates that simplicity in
Right.
life. And
Yeah.
he says at the end of the film, you know, he just wants a roof over his head,
Yeah.
to be able to keep active and have a pint now and then.
Have a
Yeah,
pint.
and there are some kind of strong lessons in the film told by Malcolm, right? When he says, for example, you arrive with nothing and you will leave this planet with nothing. Saying what we do, gain on wealth and everything, makes no sense at all.
Right. It's a beautiful film, The Last Fisherman. When is it screening
The
again?
next screening is going to be tomorrow morning at 9:30. So one for the early birds.
Yeah.
One for the early bird. Early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Just following along with being a fisherman or a fisherwoman.
Yeah.
For sure. My last quick question is, the theme is groundswell, so, right? Coming together, this emergence and rising up. So how has that been reflected in your life, like even in this last year, like in just thinking about what groundswell means to you?
I don't know. For me, it's groundswell means more when you're fishing, you have to be very careful to get your boat out when there's a groundswell. So this is very simple, very fishery approach to the word, from my
Nice.
perspective. You have
like
to
that.
stay on your feet and be careful for not getting taken away.
Right. How about for you, James?
I think it's kind of the process that we've undertaken to make the film. It's been a difficult journey.
I was just going to say Leo's got
He's got a little friend.
he's got a little
What?
friend hanging out.
Hello, be careful.
It's
I
okay.
don't like my
This
glasses,
is
Rick.
it's the part of Wild and Scenic. They
Yeah.
do. They love the glasses.
We'll let him go.
I love that. I'm like, oh, he's got a new friend hanging out. What were you saying, James?
Yeah, I think it emulates the process we've gone in the film. It kind of comes in and out, and you get the highs and the lows. But it's just nice to have it completed and to celebrate.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, you guys. It's really an honor to have you here at Wild and Scenic and in Nevada City and Grass Valley. And thanks for everything that
thank
you're
you for having
doing.
us.
It's
Thank you.
really wonderful.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful to hear your story. I'm Elisa Parker. It's the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, and we will be right back.